So this is the principle of magnetostriction. Now we are going to see how this is put into a circuit and used to generate ultrasonic waves. So first you have this rod made of some magnetic material. You have this circuit which consists of a capacitor, a battery and a coil going through it. Now I want you to not look at this left hand side portion for a minute, the NPN, the L2, that portion, just imagine it doesn't exist. Imagine your coil only consists of, your circuit only consists of this rod, this coil, capacitor and key. So what happens is the battery generates current, it passes through this circuit, it goes through this coil L1. So now you have a current carrying coil and a magnetic material placed inside it. Naturally it will experience a force. Now what happens is this force causes the rod to elongate and all that we saw. It pushes the air column around it, that leads to the generation of ultrasonic waves. So that is the basic principle. I'll repeat, this battery generates electricity which passes through this coil, current carrying coil, and it is placed in a magnetic field. A force is exerted, that elongation compression happens of course, and it leads to vibration of the air column around your rod. That vibration leads to the generation of an ultrasonic wave. Now why do we need this left hand side, this L2, this NPN and all is because any force is met with friction or air resistance or some other kind of resistance and eventually it dies down, right? So if you want to generate uninterrupted ultrasonic waves, you should make sure that your power supply is also uninterrupted. And with DC current, it's not very possible. Your battery is going to run out of charge and all. And even if it doesn't run out of charge, there are ways for your current to leak out through the coil or because of resistance or impurities in your wire and so on. So there are basically a lot of possibilities for leakage of current. And leakage is fine, but our thing is that should not interfere with my continuous generation of ultrasonic waves. So if I want waves to be generated, they have to continuously be generated until I am ready to stop. So for that we bring in this left hand side which is called the feedback coil. This is a transistor. This is just another coil similar to your L1 which is connected here. Now how this works is, this current which comes here, part of it goes through the coil and the usual stuff happens. Another part comes to, so it goes through the coil and you have a magnetic rod, it experiences a force. Now at this end you again have another coil which is wound around the same rod. So what happens here is, there is a conductor of current, there is a magnetic field and a force is experienced. So an induced current is set up in this coil L2. That induced current, it flows through this part and it comes to this transistor. This transistor amplifies the current and sends it back to your battery. So it provides positive feedback for sustaining oscillations, meaning it makes sure there is no interruption in your current supply. So that is why you have this left hand side part. So quick summary of the entire thing. Current starts from here, goes through this coil, current carrying coil in a magnetic field experiences a force, a vibration of air column, generation of ultrasound. Meanwhile, there is a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field. So an induced current is generated, that goes to the transistor. Transistor amplifies it and sends it back to the battery. This is called positive feedback for sustained oscillations. Now, how do you ensure that maximum vibration occurs? Whenever someone says the word maximum vibration, resonance is the concept that should come to your mind. Resonance meaning there are two frequencies and they have to match. What are the two frequencies in the question? Frequency of the current you set up, which is given by 1 by 2 pi root L1 C1. And frequency of the rod itself, which is E by rho. If these two are equal, then you will get maximum ultrasonic waves. Now what are these quantities? L1 is the inductance offered by this coil, C1 the capacitance of this capacitor here. This is again used to store charge so that you don't run out of supply. And this is E is the Young's modulus and rho is the density of this rod. So you calculate the respective frequencies and if they both match, then you will get maximum vibrations.